and all these things that whatever.
Cliff, I'm sorry. Can I call you right back? This is Heath, or do you want to? Is there anything? This is okay. All right, thanks. Hey, what's up, Heath?
Hey, what's up?
Just doing a little work, trying to plan out the week.
That?
Oh, just doing a little work on my laptop and just kind of planning out what I'm doing tomorrow and this week. So.
Gotcha. So, just to be honest, I had a little condo with Carlos about Doug. We talked to Doug, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first things that communicated there, right? Right.
Yeah.
Well, so, Doug takes that as, well, I'm going to call Morgan Stanley tomorrow and look at Joey's job.
Okay.
So, you know the name?
Do I know the name?
So you know the name?
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. So is he going to do that, or what, I mean, can you?
Huh?
Is he,
No, what I'm saying was, no, I've got Jory down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Calm down, right? Not having no FBI agents, that's done.
Yeah.
Okay? So, that's the big thing over there. There's no more FBI agents.
Yeah, and well, I mean, well, that person was just going to give his advice, and yeah, we weren't going to do anything. That's.
You would have to get that conveyed to Carlos.
Yeah.
You don't want this conversation with Carlos, obviously.
Yeah, I won't.
Convey to Carlos that this is
yeah.
Doug's going to pull this fucking thing. Well, I'm going to attack Morgan. Well, the way I got him on that was Morgan's totally behind Morgan. They know all about this. They're ready to pull their Morgan.
Good.
They're going to fucking attack.
Yeah.
And I told him, listen, you guys want to get out of this lawyer thing, which I think we're going to be successful doing, is, you pull that shot, it's over because it's fucking silly.
Yeah.
I'm asking you everything. But, you show me some good faith, I'm going to call off the FBI guy. Right?
Yeah.
So that was what I understand. So yes, we'll find out tomorrow. That should be a go. Alright? No FBI guy, police, they don't know that, okay?
Yeah.
And when we're dealing with cars, you gotta remember, they are both.
So you're saying that because what I told Carlos 2 days ago, he went and already told Doug about. Okay. All right. Well, that's somewhat concerning because Carlos was trying to be saying he was approaching this with strategy and trying to massage, trying to be careful. But continue, okay? That's interesting.
Yeah. So don't even bring it up to me. That's what happened. That's kind of what expected coming from a brother, right? You hear FBI and his brother getting in trouble potentially.
Well, that was my mistake. We talked for 2 hours. I had faith.
Don't even go there.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. All right.
Not a mistake. Just realize what we're dealing with.
Sure. Gotcha.
Dealing with a family thing.
Yeah.
A bro relationship on the other. There's some fault, a little bit on either side, a lot on one rather, some on the other, and we gotta tiptoe through it.
Yeah.
There was also some talk about the things with Jews, and there was some talk about how Carlos paid, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right. Which those are fine. I'd like maybe to tighten up a quick one pager about how Carlos got paid.
Sure.
He was telling me, and I kind of understand it, the meetings on the court, and this, but, I need to know that better before
Sure.
you can make any deal with them. And if you could, before you talk to these guys, I know it's hard to get me on the phone, but try to make a point to get me on the phone.
Okay.
And at this point forward, I know before, like really talking, at this point forward, it's pretty fucking tricky. I see what we're dealing with, and
well, just
get this done.
Yeah, and
Get this done. It'll be good, but definitely get me on the phone. Let's talk everything out. Don't change the attitude towards Carlos whatsoever.
I'm not. I won't. I have faith in him still, and maybe he thought that was, maybe he was concerned, or maybe he thought it was strategical, but
maybe he did, and maybe it worked out. Maybe it did. Okay, we just talked him off, going to go to Morgan, and now that I fired back to Morgan on his side, I was just going to God, maybe it all worked out in the story. I don't know.
So I'll explain. So prior to you calling, I was very, I was comfortable with, and I'm still comfortable with Carlos, what he's doing with getting a settlement, and I was finalizing a skeleton settlement agreement, referencing some codes here that I got from a lawyer that I have to put in the contract just to make it, all the components there to remove the liability. I got that done, but let me just explain so Carlos made his claim. Joy paid him an initial retainer of $2,000, and he wants a performance bonus, and we said we would calculate you, Jory, and him would all could calculate that after and based on some kind of methodology. So as it stands right now, what was going to happen is I'm giving him the settlement offer in the morning and all the ammo he wanted all the list of stuff from, all the mismanagement issues of deception so should I give Yeah, I know. Now I'm thinking. Yeah, now that I'm. I know. Now that you say that, yeah. Well, and even if I gave him the top 5, it's still the top 5. So, what? I mean, again,
maybe we don't give him the top 5.
The top, yeah. Maybe we give him the.
Maybe we send it down to here's this, and if we have to go to court, God forbid, we don't want them taking apart our top 5.
So so you talked to. I do follow. Yeah, you don't want to show your hand, tip your hand, absolutely, and so you talked to Doug, and Doug told you this, correct, or did Carlos tell you this?
No, this is Carlos. I am going to call Doug.
Okay. Well, at least let me.
Here's the same thing. Let
me just say, at least Carlos told you. So at least that indicates to me that he wasn't. Because I told him that at the very, very end, and we talked for 2 hours, and he confided in me with all these different things, and maybe he's playing. To me, I didn't see the upside for him to screw with this, because it's so overwhelming. He knows things about his brother. He wants to work with. I know he wants to work with you in the future, and I understand he's still his brother. But again, that's he can't. If he wants to do that, if he wanted to call Morgan, he could, and he's not going to get anywhere. And he does need to know that that the lawyers and the investigators and the things he's made, the violations with the pest control and all that stuff. He is in a precarious position. So anyway, so does that make sense for me to give him the settlement in the morning, and should I hold off?
I've got to see it all first.
Yeah, I'll send it to you first for sure.
And from that point, you can give it to him. And you don't have to tell him.
I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. I'm trying not to tell anybody anything, and I'm not.
Let it want to play out you're working with the team, the A team, or whatever they call it. And, I'm kind of here, and I'm working with this guy, Carlos, right?
Yeah.
Just like that, you play, and if you can't give him a document, I got to refuse. Just tell me how it all goes.
So what he's saying is that, you know, he's engaged Doug and he's going to try to go see him wherever he's at and then kind of organically bring up these issues. And then when Doug counters, he's going to be able to counter that. And then 3 or 4 days later, maybe Doug realizes this is not worth it. And, you know, there's big points like the negative 7%, like the cost of capital, that the opportunity cost that Jory lost moving the money. So the return, all that stuff is good arguments, is what I'm saying, for him to reduce.
It's an argument, but it's still argument. It's an argument, right?
No, I mean, it's a motive to say, look, your return is going to have to be, you know, higher, and then there's all these other costs. So Jory's getting screwed too. He's not going to make any money. You don't have to produce the records. We're going to remove the liability, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, he would be stupid to not take the settlement deal. And then as long as he pays the $9,000 in the house and allows the house to be marketed for sale, we were okay with that.
As long as he pays the house, you know, I thought you would rather get him out of the house by...
I'd rather get him out, yeah. And I think he's likely to move.
Okay, this guy, I don't think he can buy it.
Yeah, he can't buy the house, and I don't think he's going to be able to afford to pay $9,000 or, you know. I don't know why he say that.
Yeah, well, that's what he's already warming it up to.
Well, the reason is Simone actually brought that up about, you know, well, even if somebody paid under market rate, and, you know, so
that's what happens.
The thing is that the bottom line is, beyond any kind of internal crisis right now, Jory, I don't want him thinking about anything, and I want him 100%. Well, no, look, I'm printing summary updates of the concerns, the goals, and I give them to him, and he reads them if he wants. But and of course, on something like a threat to Morgan, that's something I would tell him. But tomorrow, I want him to focus on work 100%. Jessica and Jeff are reporting to me, and Simone is reporting to me, and I think I still have faith that Carlos can, get the settlement signed, and we can be on our way to getting this resolved. I mean, unless there's, I don't see why that. I still have faith in Carlos.
You got faith in Carlos. That's a wild card. Oh, he's paid, right?
Yeah.
To the extent that he's going to go out and try to get paid, which is fine. We don't know if Doug's going to necessarily pay for the settlement. You say it's crazy. It's not. I can agree with crazy started.
Yeah, but he's not going to take it if you come at him aggressively, because he's going to be right. And that's why I wanted Carlos as the back channel to massage, to be able to.
Oh, that's great to have it. I agree.
Yeah.
And there's some issue with, he's going to listen to his brother and kind of treat it like shit. And so there's going to be a little back and this settlement will be signed and be done.
Yeah.
Keep our cards a little bit closer. Maybe take out some of our top line items. Or get it to me in 2 versions, right? Give me what you're going to give them. Or just do an email edit.
Yeah, I'll send it to you and you edit. And in fact, honestly, it was probably a good thing that the FBI thing came up, because now it made me, a little bit more cautious in the cards that we have that are actual relevant legal, things. So I will once I get that from Jeff in the morning, I'll send it to you, and I won't communicate anything else to Carlos without running it by you first.
All right, that'd be good. And again, don't change your attitude.
I'm not, and I like the guy, and I'm not. I won't.
I do too. I just get the back of my mind. Whatever.
Well, this is like a 2-hour conversation. At the very end, I was debating whether or not to say, and I'm like, listen, Carlos, and I shouldn't have said it, but whatever. Maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have, but.
Yeah, 50 at this point. I don't know, because at least I got the chance to shout back. Well, bark down that Morgan tree, and they're all behind the orders. They've already been orders.
Yeah, there's
use their own fucking orders.
Yeah, which is pretty, you know.
Morgan Stanley, good luck, brother. That was kind of my take on that. Just fire that back out.
Yeah, so you told this to Doug directly, or?
I told it to Carlos.
Oh, Carlos. Okay, I got you. Didn't
And I was sitting in the room, Morgan Stanley lawyers and them, and I go, you go take a message there, or else some shit can't. Some guy called the number.
Well,
you know,
yeah. Well,
you're gonna go behind the guy.
One thing I did tell him today, which was the Greg Harris thing. I don't know if you know the black real estate agent that Joy's friend talked to Doug a couple months ago, 6 weeks ago. Doug was evasive, didn't send him any information, but Greg is willing to testify, to the deception and all this stuff. And one thing, Doug thinks everybody's on his side. He thinks Jessica and all these people are saying Joy's crazy, to try to get information. So I don't know if he realizes that like he thinks you're friends with him, and he thinks, all these other people are on his side or whatnot. I don't know.
He definitely knows I'm a friend of Joy's, but he called me an asshole for half an hour, but he did say, that's the guy in Joy. He's a well-known businessman, and if anyone can negotiate this, I wouldn't mind having him of it. And I think he knows what my allegiance is. Okay. But at the same time, his brother's saying, well, hey, I'm trying to do a business deal with another thing. Right?
Yeah.
And Doug knows that I know more about this whole thing than anybody. He's more to see the whole story, right? And I get it. He knows I know it. So
I just think I just think he doesn't want to be offended, or we don't want to offend his ego, and I think he'll eventually find. Yeah.
His big thing is he thinks that he and Joy had a deal. That Joy got down on it. He didn't have time to change tune about it. There's some truth to that.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
There's more than meets the eye here. Trust me, we're going to talk about this another time.
Sure. Yeah.
There's some things, and I'm 100% sure.
Yeah. No, I understand that there might be valid.
There's some fucking nuance pop up later. You'll hear, oh fuck, that was part of it. That was part of it.
Oh, I know. I could.
How many air conditioners are going?
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying, and
that's where I draw my line of caution. So he knows right now. So, he's going to go to board and he already knows. But there's behind it, we're 100% clue. The FBI guy and all that. Oh, trust me, I'm not going to that angle. I'm not going to get my guy. His guy's Secretary of Agriculture. Blah, 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 right?
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. We just got to say that's real quick.
Well, yeah, but well, I don't know. I'm aware of some of that, and I know that, it doesn't take a genius to see that, with the warehouse and the layouts and all that stuff, and
right. And they can one can spin it one way and one can spin it the other, and that's why we don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but Doug is a criminal. There's no he's, yeah,
unfortunately, it's tough to get criminal voice.
Yeah. Well,
That's why not say we're soft. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
At the same time, you want to get to where they're talking. Just tell you what you fucking want. That's all. It's acceptable, and it's just an ironclad agreement where you can identify authorities. It's acceptable. We're done.
Yeah. I think it's
think it's important to solve what's cost on the other side, right? Like you got these people out there working, I don't know what they cost. They may be kind of going down the line, but for the next, it's kind of like fire.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, that's happening. Everyone's paid on that team that goes way, off.
The only team is really Jessica and Jeff for the multi-units. No one else, even Simone doesn't, I mean, she can sell the house, but the critical things are those 2 multi-units, and that's the only team. And this whole thing about David Bryan and people texting him, you got to sue, that's all done with, and he's not having any other, input from his lawyer friends or real estate friends that just complicate this whole issue. But, I'm not worried about his threats. I know there might be information or evidence that he could, substantiate what he's saying and what is obvious. But if he does that, his whole life is over. Even if Jory would somehow have.
He has much of a life.
Yeah, I know. He's a fucking idiot. And I don't want that to happen.
That's the worst enemy. It's like fighting ISIS, right?
Yeah. They have nothing to lose. Yeah.
Well, nothing to lose. This guy's nothing to lose. That's why, I want to cut costs on the other side. I want to fucking get it to where we know we're going to get hosed.
Yeah.
We're going to get hosed.
Yeah.
Or try to win anything.
Yeah, there's nothing to win. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, but when.
No, there's a certain amount of hosing.
But do you realize? Yeah. But James Schneiderman at Morgan's like, Jory, you got to sue. All these people are telling him to sue, but none of them.
Yeah. They don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and they don't have to deal with it. If they don't have to deal with.
They don't have to deal with it. They don't know the whole motherfucking story.
Yeah, and they don't know the.
He can prove it. He encouraged it. He's going to be a suit.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways that will avoid that. Fuck Schneider, okay?
Yeah.
There's more than rumored. I just don't think he needs to get there. Maybe Jory gets sued. Like, what is he doing? Fuck, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's government. I don't know.
Yeah.
He may save himself 25% on X profit and the fee to the brother. So he's risking maybe $300,000. What?
Yeah, well, as soon as he sues, Doug's gonna counter sue. The properties will be tied up. It's just there's no. It does.
Oh, it's by the way, no. He's bills of like $200,000 to his son-in-law, and they're gonna lose that. They're gonna have $1 million.
Yeah. Well, I think yeah.
So we beat them. We're gonna have $300,000.
Yeah.
And they run the record of all this other shit coming out.
Yeah. Well, just to